Hello everybody, so we are unpacking our rose kit just so you can see what's in there. So we've got the stems, wire, floral tape, our little structure. We've got all our plate, all our petals, and these that are for the structure. We've got the instructions. And in here, we've got our 6 leaves and the sepals for the back of the flowers. So, just so you can see. So we're going to start now recording. I'm going to heat this on my little grill over here. I don't know if you can see. I just heat it here. It's a little grill. And that's about it. And then we're just going to place it over whatever you're using as your styrofoam ball. I'm not going to stretch the sides yet. So you're going to heat first this. And then this is a Floribunda rose. So right here, we're going to leave it as straight as possible. We're going to make a little line like that. Can you see? And here we're going to heat it up. Be careful not to burn yourselves, okay? If you're using a grill or a... So that's kind of how it ends. So we're gonna do the next one. I'm gonna do another one with a heat gun so you can see the difference. And it's pretty easy. So once it's heated, you stretch. And you stretch the downside. And then we're just gonna heat this side up. I'm just gonna heat this and straighten this out to make it to this little edge right here. See, this rose is different than the garden rose. So, you see? That's about it. And let me do it with a heat gun. Just so you can see. Where am I here? So you're just going to warm this in case of a heat gun. When it's going to start turning soft, make sure you get to know your material. And you can see how hot it should get. Sometimes if it gets too hot, it gets too soggy. You don't want it that much because it becomes small. It becomes like smaller. And you're just gonna heat. And there we go. And then we're gonna put this one right here, so you can see. And we're just gonna pass through there. And go like that. And just pass through there. And go like that. And that's it. And we're going to continue with all the rest. Only two of these you will roll towards the inside. So I'm going to heat it right here. And we will just roll towards the inside and hold like this. Because this is how you're going to start. And we're going to thermoform 2 like these. And that's right. It's closed. And then another one, I'm going to use this one because I just think it's just faster for me. Heats up, and we're gonna put the same thing and close it up and hold it while it gets hard. You see that? So you have 2 of these, and the rest you will do all the same as the previous ones we saw. So now we're going to start thermoforming our leaves. We don't need our bowling ball. We just need, we're gonna pass our heat through the middle. Let it become a little bit soft. And we're just gonna pinch right there, our central line. Because that's where we're gonna put our wire. And then we're gonna make some lines to the sides, pinching as well. We're gonna keep this pinch and we're gonna go right here. You see? And we're gonna do that right here. And we're gonna follow that same thing. I'm gonna do an extra one up here. Make sure you don't lose your central part. And we're just gonna go like right here. So we're gonna do right here. We're gonna try to keep our central line as straight as possible. But it looks very real now. Look at that. How pretty is that? I think I'm gonna do one more. Probably 3 on each side is good enough. I'm gonna make sure we don't lose this one and just hold it there a little bit. And there we go. So we leave a line. We're gonna use one of our wires to do that, and we're gonna repeat with all of them. Okay guys, so we're gonna start assembling our leaves. We're gonna grab our 2 wires and just grab your needle nose and cut these little things off. This is your base stem that's gonna go into the pipe. And we are going to glue our leaf. I'm gonna put a little bit more because I was looking at the wires. And we are going to glue this right there. So we're gonna hold. It's glued right there. I'm just gonna give a little extra glue because it didn't hold there. So that's one. So if you need this glue, you can find it on the website. It's very, very, very similar to Crazy Glue. And we glue these 2. So now the other 4, we're gonna glue them to the thin wire. Because remember, each one has 3. Each like set of leaves has 3. You want it to be like the real rose. So we're gonna make this little thing and we're gonna grab one of your 18 gauge wires and we're gonna put it right there. Let's hold it. Ooh. Let me put a little bit more. Usually we'll use something else to hold it. So we're holding until it glues. And we're gonna do this with all our leaves. Next one. So you're gonna, and then before we do this, I'm gonna show you what we're gonna do. So you're gonna grab these, this one in front, or it could be the other way around. One in front and one in the back, that's also good. I think that's the best way. And we're just going to cut these, you know, because you need to have this alone to go into the pipe. So we're just gonna grab your floral tape from your kit, and we are going to wrap around here. I recommend putting a little bit of glue here, just so they're very... Now, if you want them just coming out from the stem, I'm thinking you go like that, and you just wrap them around. If you want to be extra safe, put a little bit of glue so it goes under, you know, so your wires are stuck together. So, and just let it dry. And then this is going to be your petal right here. See, we want to get some glue there. We don't want it flapping around. So anyway, let's continue. So I'm just going to give you an extra tip. If you leave this too long, some people, you know, you just want it coming out of the stem. You don't want this to show. The other way is always, if you don't want them flapping, you know, give it a little twist around it like this. So this is just an extra tip for them to be like really strong looking sideways, you know. So I don't know if you can see that, what I'm doing to it right here with the floral tape. Just kind of keeping it hold. And we continue. And that's it. I'm going to put more glue here. Oh my God, this glue is full of little holes. So there you go. So we're going to do this with both sides. So guys, I normally spray paint, but I know some of you are just going to craft paint. So you just grab a cotton ball or cheesecloth, and you just grab a little bit of color and paste it, go over this part, whichever color you like. If you want it darker or lighter, or you can do whatever to this foam. That's the greatness of this foam. It can use any type of paint. So, you know, you go like that with a cheesecloth, which is what I would do, because I'm more into the just shadowing it, right? Unless you're doing a different flower. But anyways, it's very simple. You can do it before you thermoform or after. I prefer after, so you won't get the paint smudged when you thermoform. Okay guys, so we have our petals, and I'm just going to start giving them a little bit of color. Let me just make sure it comes out properly. Okay, so I had used this a little bit. I'm just going to give them color. Some people may do it before. This is a marker. So it's just a little bit of toning right there. Very subtle. So I was a little attempt I had, but it's not going to show. So we're gonna go this all the way. Just a little bit of spray, just to give it a shade. You know, maybe down there, but basically it's the edge. And we want it to have a little bit of tone. Very subtle. I don't know if you can see that. So this is a marker spray. You can get it on Amazon. spray gun. I usually use it on, you know, on my painting booth. Spray paints when I have like 20 flowers to do. But for this video purposes, it's just easier, guys. So basically, you can give it a tone right at the edge. There you go there. So it's pretty cool. Well, battery's running out, but well, no, not really. So I don't know. Can you see that right there? So it just gives it a little bit of color. It's actually with markers. It has a marker in the back. So there you go. Now let's continue. Okay guys, so we have our 2 starter petals, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to make a little tiny little structure for them. Some people don't. I like to give it a little bit of different structure, just so it has something like a core, you know, like a flower has its core. And I'm just going to wrap this around. These little 2 strips are in your kit. It can be 1, you know, it's not very important. And we're just going to wrap this. And there we go. It's a little bit crooked. You can do one and then the other. I just try to do it advanced time. And I'm going to glue. Make sure it's a little bit flat because you're going to glue this to your structure. You know, some people put it through the pipe, which is also, we used to do that. And now I'm like that little structure we got. You can also wrap this around your starter pipe. Like, that's another way to go about it. You know, the green pipe, which is, and then make a hole on the plate. Okay guys, so very simple. We're just going to glue this little thing. I mean, nobody's going to see it, but you're just going to glue your little circle right here. And then we're going to start wrapping. First of all, we're going to glue our 2 pieces. This is flat. So you want to keep it flat and you want to glue on one side. I'm just going to put 1 line first. Right here, keep it flat. And then one side. Make sure I don't glue the wrong side of the petal. Right here. So once you have these 2, we're just going to hug them up. So the first one hugs itself. So it hugs around here. And we're going to hug it right there. We're just going to hug the little base right here. Can you see? It's pretty easy, guys. This is like all the videos we see. There's nothing special to it. It's just a question of your thermoforming. And even like that, you know, you just want your little thing to go kind of like to one side, right? Because it's gonna hug, like going like that. So I'm just gonna hug this one by itself. Put a little bit dab of glue right here. Well, it's not a dab of glue. And just kind of tilt it over a little bit. You know, if you see it sideways, it's a little tilted. We want to tilt it a little bit. This one to this one. So, you see? Right there. You want to look at it sideways. And this is the beginning of your core. So I'm going to put some glue here and some glue here, and we're just going to hug it so pretty. Ooh, this one opened up a little bit. We don't want that. Hug it really nice. It's a little bit too open, so I'm gonna, this one opened up a little bit, guys. I don't like it to show. There, that's better. little bit better. So once we have your beginning, we are just going to start wrapping around. Now you have to think in layers, okay? Because you've got 25 petals. So we do 2 and then another 2. Because we're going to do 5, 5, 5, and then the last one 6. Because you have 6 sepals. So you want your big one to hug it all. And I'm just going to close in on this right here. I'm just going to put a little bit glue on this side, just so it hugs a little bit. And that's kind of it. And now we're going to glue on this side. We're going to do the same thing, but this starts opening up. So we're going to get right in the center, right there. Actually, well, you want to do that one here and that one right across it. So we're going to check from the bottom and we're going to glue this next one right across it. And we're just going to hug it. So you're going to glue one side and then the other. The same side actually on both. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to glue right here. And I'm going to go glue over this one. And then I'm going to glue this side. Just on the bottom, like halfway down. So, and we hold it. And then we close it this way. Now we're going to close halfway down. We close this one. And then we close this one. So you see, you got your top part. And then we're going to start going with 5, okay? Just make sure you get all your little glues here. Don't worry about these little spikes around here. You know, those little things from the first one. Because you are going to start. This one did not glue all the way. We need to close it up a little bit more. We need to close this up a little bit more. At least to hug the central 2 petals. Getting the beginning of the rose is sometimes the hardest part. In my case. So you're starting. I don't want it to be too open from here to here. So I'm going to close it just a little bit more. And that's it, guys. Holding it down. Now be careful you don't bend like that. We want that and that. And then we're going to start going, okay? So we are going to start going here. The same thing, we glue down here. But now we're going to make a line. I want you to draw a little star here, okay? So we're going to draw a little star. So you can have your points. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so this is what I do. I put first just the line in the middle, and then I glue the 5th right there in the middle. So this one is going over the other one. And then right here, right where this big thing is, we're going to put right there. Just so it's holes, and you'll see how it's going to flap a lot. But this is just for your beginning. And then we're going to put this one right there. This is the 5th. So you made your 5-point star, which gives it like very perfect 5 petals. And right here is this one. So we're going to glue the 5th one. So you can see there. Pull it away a little bit more. You got your 5 petals. So first you're gonna glue one side of each. So I'm gonna glue this one here and then this one here. So here we go. We're just gonna go halfway, okay? Then we detail and we're gonna close it up. I'm holding the glue right there. And then we're gonna go halfway here and close it up. As straight up as possible as you can. So this second layer is a 5 petals. And then this right here, and we close it up. And then we go, make sure it's glued. And then you go, this one, ooh, it has to be inside of the previous. So if you have that, make sure you get this out, okay? So it starts getting a form. And then once you've got those 5, then you start wrapping it like that, okay? So we're gonna close it up. We're gonna start closing it up. So we're gonna now go on the second side, close it up. See how pretty it starts to look? This part, close it up. And the 4th petal, halfway, we close it up. Look at how pretty. The 4th one, we close it up. Now this one, oh no, the 4th, we got the 5th to go yet. We haven't done this one. So this one is glued, and we close it up. So you've got the beginning of your rose. So now we got 3 layers to go. You see? So it's flat here, which is what you want for it to go in the other part. And we're gonna do the same, but now we're gonna do exactly between this, we're gonna put the next layer. Make sure you just put a line kind of like mapping it out. And then right between these two, we put the second petal right there. Remember, don't glue all these things on the side, just the line. You just want the line first until you can fix it, and then you go around and glue all of this. And then right here, we put it right here, so it's got to be right there. And we're going to put this one right there. This one has to be right there and right there. Okay, you can see my lines. And this one right here. And we've got our 5th petal of the 3rd layer. So we're good to go. We're good to go. Now this one, you do want to open it up a little bit more. You know, you will want to kind of like glue it a little bit more like this. So we're gonna a little bit more kind of like pinched. Not too much, just enough that it starts opening up, okay? So we're gonna put on one side first. One side first. Because once you have them all glued, that's when you decide how open or how close you want it. So I'm just going to put a little bit of glue to this previous one because it's a little bit too open. Just so it holds and it doesn't confuse me. Now we're gonna go to the, which one did I glue? Oh, this one fell off. Okay, we go one. You need to put your hand in so it holds the glue. I don't know whatever glue you're using, if you're using silicone, which is the normal one everybody uses, but this one's just so much easier. Remember this flap, we're going to take it out of here and make sure we have the glue, and this one is over it. So here we turn this around right here and we glue this part. And now we're going to do this one right here also. And glue this part. And then right here. Same thing. And right there. So you glued one side of each of the 5 petals. And this one unglued. So you should have something looking like this, like it's open on each one. It's just hanging like from one side. So then we're gonna close it and bend it in, like right here. This is where we glue, a little bit bent like that. So I'm gonna put some glue and we're gonna close this one up over this one. Make sure it's a little bit open. Oh, this one unglued. Gotta put my hand in. And wait more time, right? That's the good thing about silicone glue, is you don't have to wait a lot. And the bad thing is all those stringies. And it just makes the flower heavier. You know, the more silicone, the heavier it is. But, you know, not that much. It's not a big deal. So now I'm going to close this one over this one, opening up a little bit. I'm waiting for it to dry. And then I'm going to open this one up a little bit more. Because remember, this is where, after this is where your little structure comes into action, the little paper plate. So we start going like that, you see? And then the last part, make sure you see it from the top and it looks kind of even. So I'm going to do that there. So that's the first section. Now we're gonna use, and it should stand up like that. Okay, so let's go to the next part. Okay guys, so we're getting our little structure out. So basically I opened this paper plate as much as I could, and we're just gonna cut the edges, right? This is kind of like a little structure better. I feel it gives it a it gives it strength, you know? So basically that's all you do. It's just a little strength to give the flower a little bit of strength. And I open this up like that. And we're going to glue our structure in. So for that you do need your silicone. Let me get my glue gun. I don't know what happened here, but so can you see that? So I'm just gonna take my glue gun. And I'm going to glue over this. That easy, guys. Remember, these are kind of flexible, so at the edges, you want to keep it very, very glued. This is the structure of the whole thing. So once you have this, you're just going to bend these little things towards the plate. You see this? Can you see my little bendings here? I'm going to put more glue just because this does have to be very, very strong. So we just hold there, waiting for glue to dry. So now that it's dry, this is where we're gonna glue this. But before we do that, we need to glue our other petals. So there's gonna be 5 here and then 6 at the bottom, okay? And then these are gonna glue to, I don't know if you see it, let me show you sideways. So this glues here, and you're gonna glue the top part to this to grab it together. So that's what we're gonna do, okay? So basically, and that's when your flower opens up. So here we want to do the same thing, a little star, just so you follow the, you know, like, if you feel there's too much space on one, then you do this, just make your little markings. There's a little bit too much here. So I'm just gonna do it right there, right there, right there, kind of, right? Okay, so now, next part, we are going to glue. And here I go. So it's right at the edge. You want to get these petals out, you know, make them be bigger than they are. And this little structure pushes them out. So this is when your flower starts getting bigger. And we like big. I'm in Texas, so everything is Texas size. So we do another one. Now, if it's not perfect, don't worry. You know, as much as we'd like everything to be super perfect, It's not. You know, because here has less space than over here, but you know, it's as much as I'd like it perfect, there's no such thing. Right there. So there you go. Our little 5 structure there. Okay. So after that, we're gonna glue this. Well, actually before. So when we're done, we're gonna put this like that, and it's gonna glue. Now, before we do anything else, we just want to mark our last 2, 3, 4. And I'm missing 1. 5. I'm missing 1. Let me find it. So now, very easily, we're just going to glue 6 of our petals. Our last little petals to the back of our structure. We're going to put 1 more here. So very much at the edge, so it looks big. So we're going to just mark it, you know, just very easy. Like we put 1 to the top of this, and let's put some glue here. Right there. A little bit just there. It's still going to flop, and then right 1 in front of it. Try not to look at the previous one, because we're doing a different, oh, it's too much. Got it. Glue it here, basically. So we're just gonna glue this right there. And then we're gonna do these 2 right here. Right here, make sure they're kind of as, ooh, we unglued this one. Let me use my silicone glue. Better. Right in front of that one. We're gonna keep it there. Let's take this off so we don't get confused. And then this one over here. Right at the very edge and right in front. So then we are gonna just measure out these 2. Make sure they have like the same space between them, and we're gonna do the same thing. Just a little bit. Once you have them, they're pretty even right here. You can see that. Just wait, and then we glue the other 2 over here. A little bit to the side right there. So there we have. So this is the bottom part of our flower. And we turn it around, and we're gonna stick this to here, and we're gonna start closing up our petals around it. Okay, so that's kind of how it goes. Now I think you may want to slice this a little bit. You know, get your X-Acto knife, and you want to slice this a little bit so it doesn't come out, but you know, I like it tall. Yeah, no, I'm gonna keep it the way it is. So here we go. I'm putting the glue on. So make sure you have it in the center. You can see there, I'm looking at it sideways, and There we go. Just to make sure this one goes over here. So once we have that kind of glue, I'm going to put some extra there of our crazy glue to just make it, putting more drops in there. Let's just wait a little bit till it dries. And then we're going to start gluing right here, these edges around this part. So what this little plate does is it causes our flower to make it a little bit more open. Let me put a little bit higher here, because you want it to hug to these petals and glue to these petals. I don't know if you can see there. So I'm kind of giving it a little hug. And this is the last one, but we're not going to do that one yet. We're going to do the second one. And we're going to glue it to that. So I'm going to put it a little bit higher just so it doesn't flap. Right there. Do this one, yes. Remember to hug it so it doesn't go like that too much. You gotta make the little like this right here. So you want it to open up. This one will close up here. Now we're gonna go on the second one. And we're going to put some glue here. Now, if you're doing this as a wallflower, you would do the exact same thing, except without the pipe in the back. So the kit comes exactly the same. So we're going to do this right here. And I'm gluing. And now we're going to do this with the last. Now we're finished with these. We turn it around and we're going to glue our, ooh, this one twisted. Guess I didn't wait for the glue to dry up properly. So if that happens with silicone glue, you just soften it up with your glue. Right there. And this one, I guess, same thing. I'm just going to warm it up so it sticks again. So now we're going to start gluing. Remember how we did that? We just glue first one side, and we're going to glue this side as straight as possible to this petal. To this bottom petal right here, you can see. So let's wait till it glues properly. Ooh, previous glue kind of glue over. Okay, we're good. Now we're gonna do this one. If this is a little bit too bent, you just put your hand in here. You see right there? And you hold it properly there. So let's do that. So this is the one we did all these things, but it's not going to show. I'm going to show you another technique also right now when you need to paint afterwards. Like if you're doing lots of them. Like I got so many to do right now. Lots of flowers to do. So now we're gonna do this one, this side, so you can see it's gonna be under this one. So we're gonna put some glue here. And we're gonna put our hand in here also, because we got that little thing right there. And we're holding this petal. Now we go to the next petal. And we do the same thing. We put our hand in the previous petal, like you see here, because you're holding the glue. So you can make it hold the glue. Hold it. And right here, we do the same thing on this one. This is actually in 2 petals. And I think this is the last one we glue on this side. And now we glue here. Now we start on the other side, just over gluing. And there we go. Look at that. How pretty. How pretty is that? Now we go here. Just make sure all these little edges are properly glued. So that way you got your structure. Right here, I'm gonna put glue between the structure and the petal. Now right here again, we're gonna do that. So we put all this glue right here. And we glue. Right here, we're going to put this glue right here. And right there. And then right here. Right there. And then the last one. And we just got the sepal to go now. Right here. I'm trying to find a way we can make this a little bit more glued. So I'm going to put my hand in here and try without tearing it to put without tearing the previous glue, put a little bit there, you know, stretch it. It's a good thing about foam, it stretches quite a bit. And I think I'm going to try to do the same here. And look at that. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. That's a gorgeous rose. Oh my. Okay, awesome. So now we are finished this. So we are just going to start thermoforming our sepals. So this basically is kind of like a really cute thing that is going to twist. This one goes down, but these are going to go up. So you're going to kind of just like that, because they go up like they're falling. Kind of like that. And we're going to do the rest. So we warm this. We just give it a little curve here. And then we just do the heat, fix these up and turn them up. It's like a little hand. Well, it's got the nasty finger, but anyway, that is not a good. So this is going to go over our flower right in the middle of these petals. And we're gonna have these things coming out like that. So let's do the next one. Now there's another technique that we use for, let me try to do it so you can see whichever you feel better. But see, each one, you kind of twist it. And oh my God, it looks so pretty. You just twist it. I think I'm gonna do it like that. It's really up to you guys. It just gives the sepal a very, like those elegant roses that you see. So you got that like that. So when you put it over your flower, this comes up and this falls down and it just looks so gorgeous. So I'm gonna give it a little twist. So each one you can twist to whichever side you want. So we're just going to twist, 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 twist. Look at that. Oh my God, it's gonna look so pretty. We just want this to go up and this has to go down, you know? So it's gotta go like that. You know, you gotta push this up and this has to go up because this part is not glued to the flower. This looks like the sepal is coming out of it. So anyway, we finish these up. So now we're gonna paint our sepals and leaves. I'm gonna use 2 tones. Remember, you can do this with craft paint. I'm just gonna do it because I got lots to do. And we're just gonna put some dark in the center and the edges a little bit lighter, or you could do it the other way around. You know, so it's a darker green, and that's all we do. Far away, and then we're going to do a lighter green on the edges. And now you do it on both sides. So we're just going to turn it around. And I forgot that we always try to do the front side first. And remember, on this part of the sepals, you only want the edge. So we're gonna go and put our dark again. So it's just a shadow that you want. And that's it. So we have our rose here, and you can already have it painted. You don't have to do this stuff, but I want to make it a little bit rustic looking, so I'm using rustic pink, which is going to give it a little bit of a very unique look. Just the edge. Now the other way, now we go up, and we go the other way around. Right there, how pretty that looks. And give it a little bit from the front now. So you want to see it from the front. Spray. And I'm just going to go through the back to make sure we get the back of this part. That's it. So your flower is very strong, and we're just going to cover the sepals to make sure it's strengthened. And it's got a very unique color. So now for the last step, guys, look at how pretty it looks. We are just going to put our sepals from the top right where they unite. You make sure you have to cover this up. So, and you want to get it really strong. So I'm going to use the two types of glues. A little bit of this, because this one makes it like heavier. And I like my flowers to be like really, and now we're going to glue just this area, okay? Just the sides and from here. That's all you're going to glue. You're going to make it a little ball like that. And this, you want it to go up like that. And then we're going to do the next sepal. And we're going to glue. Remember that same area only. Right in the middle of these three. Right here. Now we're going to, I think I gotta do it, glue here. I'm gonna put our glue. Right here. So we're gonna close this right here. We're gonna put the, we got two more to go. Oh, oh. This one right here. So we're gonna do this. Look at how pretty it looks. Very, very, very elegant. right there. And then this one right here. Oh, put it through. About to make a mistake. Right there. So now the last step you want to do a little bit is just put a little bit of heat here so you can get these like really close to your stem, you know, so they come soft and you make them like really close right there. And then we're going to do some extra little gluing there. Make sure all this is very well stuck to each other. Oh, except not the fingers. Look at that. You've got a beautiful rose. Oh. And we're ready to install it on our, well, here I'm going to put more glue. You see there, you can see the side. So I'm going to close it up here a little bit. So make sure you check all these little details it didn't glue. And you make this part glue there. And then you want to turn these down. Look at that. Just make it down a little bit there. And you've got your gorgeous rose. Congratulations. So now we're going to drill our pipe. Here's our pipe that comes in your kit. And we are going to make sure this is a little bit thicker, just the same as our stems. And we are just gonna use our little drill here. Calculate wherever you want it. I'm gonna do it a little bit since I have a long pipe. I think it's 5 foot. I'm gonna drill one right here. And then sideways so it can look a little bit up. But make sure it fits. I have a feeling it's too thick. So I gotta open it up a little bit more. Let's make sure. So there it goes. It goes in. Make sure you got your, look at that, how pretty it's gonna look. So you just give it the little bend like that. And you want it to look like to the front. You know, if you're looking side to the front and this is gonna bend this way. So make sure you don't give your bend a crease, right? You got to put your hand like that because you don't want it to be creased. And I'm going to put the other one on this side, or I don't know, higher. Yeah, right here. Right here. And we're going to make sure, you know, it fits. The pipe has aluminum inside, so that's pretty easy. Kind of soft, somewhat soft. So there we go. And now we're going to push it in. You may need your needle nose pliers here. There we go. There we go. So there we go. We give it a little sideways nudge, just so you can see the leaves like to the front. You may want to twist this like that. So now we go to the next part. So guys, we are now in the most exciting part of the tutorial, which is setting up your flower. Look at that. Isn't that a gorgeous thing? And you've got amazing leaves, which is very important. Your leaves are the frame of your flower. So we're just gonna insert, as you can see, it's really, really snug. So you just kind of twist it around so it goes in. Make sure this is not too bent. If it's too long, or you feel it's like, ugh, too long, you just grab a little piece, grab a cutter or a knife. Remember, this is PVC aluminum, so I'm just gonna give it a little cut out. Just that. And I'm going to insert it. Ooh, probably bent it. Because it's exactly like to the millimeter. So the awesome thing is that it won't be twirling. So you just twist it. If you need to push it a little bit, make sure you grab it from a place that it won't damage your flower, and we just shimmy it. And that way your flower is snug, snug, snug in the stem. And look at that. Look at that. And at the end, if you want to like give it a little blow dry on it and push them back or whichever way, but look at your sepals. It is a gorgeous flower. So anyway, congratulations. We have finished our giant rose.